going on, guys? CaptPirateman here, and you may be wondering, why is it only CaptPirateman? He's never on the channel by himself. Well, today is just a CaptPirateman adventure, because fortunately Trent and the rest of the guys, they could not make it on this trip, but I am attending Fest of Legends, which is a big convention for Sea of Thieves. So I just headed out. I got another 4.5 miles, or not 4.5 miles, I wish, but another 4.5 hours ahead of me. So this is going to be a long drive, but yeah, this is going to be just me this time. So, yeah, get back to you guys when we're done. So, because I got here kind of late, there wasn't much to do on Friday night. They had a trivia night, but that was about it. But looking on the schedule, I didn't really miss much. There was like only a couple things listed. However, tomorrow morning, there is going to be a cosplay competition, and I did come prepared with a few of the props that I have made from Sea of Thieves. This one was a pain in the butt because I had to make it like 5 different times to get it to work, but it's this guy right here. That guy right there. And this one is my favorite prop. Activate it real quick because it's a lantern. So, oh wow, that was close. So, I'll be using the lantern, the sword I just had, and then a couple other things. You will see it for day 2 coming up. So, yeah. Alright, just woke up, and the floor doesn't actually open until like 10. So, I'm going to be heading down to breakfast because unlike C2E2, this hotel actually includes breakfast. So, yeah, I'll actually be able to eat before heading down to the main floor. So, yeah, I'll get back to you guys when I start heading down to the main floor because I will be going in cosplay. Time to go get some breakfast.
1 hour later.
I don't know if I showed you guys this, but everyone that has registered at this con has not given their real names. They all gave their usernames. So that's kind of cool. And they were actually giving these little flexi bananas out last night. So I thought that was kind of funny. But yeah, everyone has their usernames instead of their real names. So kind of cool because I've already heard stories of people saying, oh, I recognize that username. I played with you one time on Sea of Thieves. So that's kind of a cool way to meet people. Alright, I'm headed to the venue. I got my face paint and I got a lot of my cosplay stuff back there. It's too hot right now to put all of it on. So I'm gonna wait till I'm in the building with AC.
We'll sail together. Hold fast, tides are turning, flames roar, fires are burning, we'll all be returning if we sail together.
So actually, before the cosplay contest even happened, we got an exclusive interview with the Sea of Thieves developers, hosted by HippoTC, which is a big Sea of Thieves streamer. So we got some information that the rest of the player base will not know for probably another year or two. And no, I will not be telling you, you had to be there. But I will show you a few clips here and there.
14. So that's cool. I see that. Next question. We got 2 more questions. We're going to try to get through them. I think we're wrapping up very soon. So first, again, thank you guys for making time for all of us.
No, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. Today, I was actually watching Dead Man's Chest, second Pirates of the Caribbean movie, which I've not watched for about a year. I watched it a lot around the time of the Pirate's life. I love that movie.
What does Mike do on the weekend?
Yeah, genuinely, I was watching Chest. My daughter's never seen it, so we're watching Dead Man's Chest, and there's a whole scene where one of the pirates is carrying like a goat on board when they're boarding the ship, and they're essentially hiring all the crew to give them 100 souls to Davy Jones. One of them's kind of bringing a goat on board. It made me think of that question. No, goat's not confirmed, but given enough time, everything's confirmed. if we go on for 2 hours with this, I'm going to confirm everything. There's no plans for goats at the moment, but never say never. Like, I think pet pigs as well. We need to do pet pigs at some point.
Is there any, like I said, I would love to see a pet update, not necessarily a pay to win kind of experience, but the ability to start always with a pet or like favorite the pet. Every time I start my adventure, Melvin's always there, because I always forget, like, sometimes the game will crash, I'll reload back in, and I'm like, where's Melvin? I'm like, oh yeah, I crashed like an hour ago and I forgot, because I always place them. So my question specifically, is there any ideas around like improving how pets interact with the world? Because even to the point, basic commands would be super cool, or the pet hiding with you if you're tucking, or the ability to say, hey, Melvin, you stay here. Like, I'm gonna take the chest of legends and I want them to know I was here, so you stay here for a second while I run away. And then like I could whistle and then the bird just, you know, I'm like,
yeah,
that
I think
would be awesome.
it'd be really cool. Like, you hit on the main point there, though, is that, like, you just always want to be really careful with pets that they're not giving you any kind of gameplay advantage, and that does limit it somewhat, but there still are some really cool opportunities, like you said, just to give them that extra layer of depth. It's not something that comes up kind of frequently that we talk about, or something that we've got specifically planned, but I do think that pets, it would be nice to give pets a bit of extra love. Again, if only you had that infinite time,
I know.
do everything.
That is just such an unfortunate kind of miss with pets, that they don't actually start when you start the game.
Yes.
Like that, the reason for that is it sounds so silly, but that was actually a huge amount of work to support something as simple as that. There's just something, the way the account works and the way your cosmetics work, that's actually more work than we expected. It just didn't make the cut originally. And there is the kind of expanding the pet's experience. Like, I think basic commands could absolutely work. There's definitely some sensitivity there around the pay to win. You have to be extra careful, not just what you'd say is definitely pay to win, but the perception of pay to win. even though it's not paid to win, is also something we want to be careful with. But if I kind of zoom out to the spirit of what you're asking, I think the idea of having companions with you, whether they be pets or not, is just a cool area that I could see us exploring in the future. But ways that, because I think when you're not playing with your friends, Sea of Thieves can feel a little bit lonely sometimes when you're on the boat on your own. And some people love that, right? Because it's a very relaxing zen experience, going fishing on your own, watching the sunsets. But to feel that life with you would be a cool opportunity.
Okay, day number 2 is finished. I didn't get as many videos as I wanted in cosplay just because it's kind of hard to hold props and take videos while I'm by myself. So I got as many pictures as I could in cosplay, and I entered a cosplay competition, and we will find out the winners tomorrow. Right now I am at a rotating sushi bar, so I will see how that is. But you know, day number 2, it's all done. Only one day to go. So apparently this place is really popular because I went in and there was about an hour to hour and a half wait. However, by the time I contacted the rest of the people that are coming to let them know, hey, there's an hour wait, it had already dropped down to 45 minutes. So we're just gonna wait it out. And yeah, because I really want to check this place out.
Is this 15?
Yep.
Alright.
Alright, we're done with the rotating sushi bar now. It was a fun experience. I've actually never been to one of these before. I would go again. Little pricey, but it was fun. Now it's time to go back to the hotel room and call it a night. And start day 3 tomorrow. So I will see you guys then. Hello, so quick editor's note. I was going over the footage for day number 3, and I started to tell this story, but I kind of didn't explain it well because I had just woke up, I was tired, and you know, can't really think that well. So basically, give you the brief summary. I have this wanted poster, and it's of my pirate that I commissioned an artist on Instagram. Her name is Marti. I'll put her link to her Instagram in the description because she does amazing work. You know, I'm always impressed with all the different wanted posters and all the, you know, just artwork of other pirates that she does. So, basic summary, somebody recognized me cosplaying as my pirate because he recognized that poster, and his name was CaptSwabbie, and I'm going to go ahead and let him explain the story a little bit because this is something we both find kind of funny to happen at the con. So here's CaptSwabbie explaining how he recognized me.
Wait, huh?
Huh?
What am I doing?
Recording the story.
The story?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, you're recording the story. Okay. Okay, so I saw his cosplay yesterday, and he walked by, and I'm like, oh, he's cosplaying some artwork that I saw of Sea of Thieves. Like some very, very cool artwork, very distinct look for his pirate. I was like, that's really, really, really well done. That's awesome. So I walked up to him yesterday, and I'm like, hey, man, it's cool. You did cosplay some artwork? And he's like, no. And I'm like, it's about pirate. And I was like, oh, sure. Wow, this is really uncanny. There's some artwork that I saw from Sea of Thieves. Some concept art or something. That's cool. And then, like, literally, I'm laying in bed today, and I'm waking up, and I'm starting to, like, you know, the cloud, like get the cloud this way. My eyes pop open, and I like have that like cliche moment, like my eyes pop open, I sit up out of bed, I'm like, wait a second. He got artwork done of his pirate from Marty, the same person that I got my artwork done by, and whenever she did the Reddit thread, I saw his artwork before I even got mine done. So I had that in my head. It's like, oh, this is really, really, really cool artwork. And his cosplay was so good that I recognized his pirate from his cosplay from the artwork, and like my brain kind of made the connection and was like confused. So yeah, it's just really, really crazy. We both got artwork done by the same person. That's really cool.
Now on to the next event, which was called Mini Race of Legends. Now I know, that little boat didn't look very legendary at all. But, let me just explain how this works. So for this event, they use a bracket system. Now remember earlier on in the video, I said no one is using their real names, they are all using their usernames. Well, everyone takes their name tag with their username on it and brings it up to the board, and then they get put into the bracket. The winner of each bracket goes on to the next round, facing off the winners of previous brackets, and then so on and so forth until we get to our winner. Each player is given a boat and a fan on a stick. The goal of each player is to take their fan on a stick and maneuver their boat to the other side of the pool, which sounds a lot easier than it actually is. Once they are at the end of the pool, they have to turn around and beat the other player to the other side of the pool. Once they are at the end, that player wins, which in this case would be red. Now that we know how the mini race of legends works, let's go ahead and watch some footage of some people trying this for themselves. Also, I forgot to mention just one thing. The winner of the mini race of legends gets the affiliated alliance sales. Yeah, these things right here. For those of you watching that don't really know anything about Sea of Thieves, these sales are really rare to get, and they're very difficult to get. So the stakes were pretty high for this mini race. But anyways, enough about that. Let's actually watch the race. And now, it was my turn.
All right, folks, we're getting underway here. Both boats have left port. And they're off. It's anybody's game at this point. Both neck and neck. Blue diverting from course. They're a bit of a maverick here, folks. They're on their own course. This was not the predetermined route, but blue team, dang it, they're doing their own thing, and I appreciate it. Red team still out in front. Oh no, red team looks like they might have just hit a rock. Yes, Jim, I'm being told they did in fact hit a rock. Blue team out in front. Oh, that rock's gonna slow down red team. Still, anybody's race here at the Mini Race of Legends. Both ships now turned around, headed back to Port Merrick. Let's see if they can avoid the rocks as well as the storms here. Beautiful weather for it until it's not. Oh, looks like red team struggling with their sail management just a little bit there. Going in reverse. Again, both teams, little bit of mavericks there. You don't tell them how to sail. They tell you how to sail. Red team catching up to blue. Blue almost back to port. Uh-oh, looks like blue off course. And it's red team running. Folks, absolutely incredible. In all the years.
Yep, I lost by just a couple of seconds, and the affiliate alliance sales were gone. I'm just kidding, I'm being dramatic for no reason. So, shout out to Mushroom Sauce on Twitch, because that's actually where I got the clip of me doing the mini race from. If it wasn't for him, I would not have that clip. So, thank you. Mushroom also live streamed the entirety of day 3, I believe it was. So, if you want to see the whole day in full, definitely go over to Twitch and check him out. So, on day 3, there were a couple more things. I didn't get too much footage of it, but there was a boat decorating competition. And one of the boats, I thought the sails were printed on because the paint job was so well done. But when we go back to this picture, all the items on this table, like the wood, the little coins on the left there, and the 3 compasses, those are all prizes for different competitions. The big metal coins are prizes for the cosplay competition. The wooden things, those are prizes for, I'm not sure which one it was. I think it was the big race of legends. And then the compasses were prizes for Cutlass Crusades, which is basically just a scavenger hunt in Sea of Thieves. That's the quickest way I could explain it. There were also a few more panels with some content creators going over just questions with people and just, you know, explaining things like their first day on the Sea of Thieves and how they remember it, and just sharing stories like that. That was a lot of the con, was just sharing stories from people to people. It was pretty great. And I had asked the question, if you can add anything to Sea of Thieves, what would it be?
I can see Logan's brain juices going right now.
We were actually just talking about this right before this. It's a broken record at this point. I want a nice vibe like everybody else, but I want to be Viking focused. I really want a Viking. I want the Viking cosmetics and all that. And I would also love to see some form of Peter Pan enter the game. That's what I would want.
Well, this is going to be probably an unpopular opinion. You guys probably won't agree on this, but when you guys play the maiden voyage and you go and you're sailing to the Sea of Thieves, once you get going, you're sailing, and there's a point where the Kraken comes out of the water and pulls that skeleton ship under the water. I love that. I want a 1 in a shrouded ghost chance, which is very limited, very low chance of a Kraken just spawning on you and just pulling you into the water. I I've been saying this for years, and that's something I would love to see. Just as a troll, because I'm a troll.
I just imagine the streamer just sitting there like, we got it all, we're gonna go turn in, and all of a sudden like, no! Let Joey hit the button. Yeah. I would actually like the Shrouded Ghost to be brought to the game. Everything. So I have always had, this was a conversation back in year one. Mike Chapman foolishly followed me back on Twitter and opened up DMs for me. And I actually got some good stuff this weekend because of the panel, so I'll be talking about that later. But one of the things that they like just announced like what was going to be happening with like the first 3 major updates in that first year. And I was like, hey, I know, like you guys probably have your own plans, but I was wondering if I could toss out some ideas and see how close I am to what's going on. So I almost nailed per sales down to like exactly what was going to happen, but the only thing that they didn't do was one of the things that is an idea that I still to this day wish that they could do. And the idea was you had the emergent skeleton ship come out, it would sail around and you would have to attack it. Makes sense. We have the roaming ones, but what we don't have is roaming ones that are trying to take over the outposts. Yes. And I would love it if when you spawn into an outpost, or you know that there's an outpost, it comes under siege. All the shops close their door, and you can't do anything there until you lay waste to the skeleton ship that is now docked at the plunder outpost. You have to take out the skeletons, you have to take out the skeleton lord, you have to raise a flag to claim it back again in the name of Sea of Thieves. And that gives you an opportunity to have like this weird emergent thing that really just derails your experience. And it also forces players to be in this situation where if I'm finishing up before the Damned and Ancient Spire is under siege, that gives me one opportunity to go to Plunder Outpost to turn in, or for an extra amount of rewards, say like you clear out the siege at Ancient Spire, anything you turn in at that outpost now gets double reward. And it gives you that opportunity so people can go like start camping those out and start seeing what's going on and force that PvE to be an engagement point for other players based on what they're doing. So I would love to have something like that come to the game. The next question is, where was the resting place of Flameheart's sarcophagus? Where was it?
But after all those events were done, that was pretty much the final day of Fest of Legends. I even got to meet Dread Pirate Doug. If it wasn't for him, this whole Fest of Legends would not exist. So one of the other things I wasn't able to record was I did mention that on the 3rd day that they would be announcing the winners of the cosplay competition. And I was one of them. And the trophies were really cool. They actually had somebody, I got to meet the guy, he was really cool as well, but they made molds and cast molded these medallions, as you could hear, actual metal. So that was pretty cool. And I thought that was just, unique, because I've never seen anything like made specifically for an event like this. And when I got home, I of course had to make something for this medallion, so I made the skeleton hand that holds the coin, and that just kind of slots right in there, and it just holds it. Something else I thought was kind of unique that I haven't seen to conventions before is people were just giving things out just for the sake of giving them out. You actually see them on my hat, like these pins and stuff. People were just giving them out just cuz. Like these gems somebody gave out. These metal coins, this was an interesting idea. Somebody I met over there was actually playing Liar's Dice and was giving these coins to anyone that beat him in it. And then this little ancient coin that says Fest of Legends 2024, you had to do a specific challenge and you would get one of the coins. I just had to tell a story from Sea of Thieves that happened to me. And these little papers came with it as well. You know, I thought that was kind of unique. I've, again, never seen anything where people just give stuff out like this. I didn't have to pay for any of this, so that was a different experience. And as the night came to a close, so did Fest of Legends. We all gathered for one more night to chat and say our goodbyes, which I thought was also a unique experience, because typically when I go to these cons with the guys, we usually just stick to our own group. So it was interesting having people being so welcoming to you when you've literally never seen them before, and they just want to be friendly just because we have the same interest in a video game. So I thought that was kind of nice as well. Well, it was the last day of the fest today. I had a fun time. I'm like hitting a wall where I am about to just literally fall asleep right on the spot. But I did win the cosplay competition today, and I got, man, this thing's heavy. I got one of these. It's actually cast out of bronze, so it's actual metal. I also won some stuff at the silent auction. It was a, well, here, I'll just show you guys real quick. It's replicas of the, well, you can see exactly what it says. So this is actually, I don't know what it says that, it's Davy Jones' necklace, and then Barbossa's, and I got two pairs, or I got two of each. Or I got, yeah, whatever, I'm tired. So I'm gonna try that again. So I got, well, I originally bid, so they were stacked like this. So you got one of each. So I got two sets, is what I was trying to say. Like I said, I'm hitting that wall. I'm like dead tired. But it was great. I had a lot of fun. This community is probably like the closest community I've seen. You know, I've always seen like the Star Wars communities, you know, Marvel communities, all that, all these other communities, and they're like, they talk, they're nice to each other, but you know, this community, they actually like seem to care about each other. Because you know, I just got back from a restaurant where all of us got together for one final night before we headed out, and there's people I didn't even really talk to at the convention. You know, it was just saying bye, and they're like, you know, you go in for a handshake, and they're like, no, get the hand out of here. Right? You know, I'm a hugger, and they'd hug you and say, you know, safe travels, be safe out there. It's just like people I haven't even really talked to during this whole event. You know, it's like they want to hug you and make sure you are safe on your ride home. And like just listening to some of these panels where they're talking about adventures that they've had throughout the Sea of Thieves, and just like some people, they've had a crew that they played with for years, and this is the first time they're ever meeting the crew in person. And it's just kind of cool to see all this stuff where this game brings people together. And yeah, it's just it's a cool community to be around. I'm highly considering coming back next year just because of the community, and I you know, I can't wait to get back and play with some of these people on Sea of Thieves soon. But yeah, it's just kind of cool to see how tightly knit this community is. There's actually kind of a funny story too as well. I'll try and make this brief as possible because I'm gonna butcher it if I do the long way. So this guy comes up to me and he's like that. It's just kind of funny how small of a world it is, because me, him, and then my friend from Poland, we were all messaging each other and being like, hey, we met up in person, and you know, so just things like that brings the community together. I would love to attend this next year. It is kind of pricey though, so I don't know if it's in the budget for next year or not, but I had a great time. This was a great trip, even though I was by myself the whole time. I really didn't feel like I was by myself the whole time, because like everyone is so welcoming, and yeah, I'm just rambling on about how welcoming everyone was, but it's true. You don't really feel alone in this community, and that's to say, like, the people who are actually part of the community, because there are the casual players who are kind of toxic and, you know, wish death upon your mother for sinking them, but the people who are actually part of the community, like a community like this, are really nice and are welcoming. And that's what I love about this game too, is just the people in the game. And yeah, but tomorrow morning I check out. I gotta pack all my stuff now, and then I gotta drive for 4.5 hours back home. But yeah, I had a great time. I think this is the end of the journey. I got everything all packed up and loaded in. Again, I had a great time, and I knew the Sea of Thieves community was close, but going on this trip, I didn't realize how close they were. And, you know, I made plenty of new friends that I'm going to hop on the seas with, like, after this trip. So it's just a nice experience to, you know, a nice little refresher to be able to just talk to people about the game and have them know exactly what I'm talking about. But, you know, I've been on these cons before, and usually we stick to our groups. Me and the guys usually stick to our little groups, but I mean, obviously I couldn't do that this time because I came by myself, but it was just a different experience. Having everyone call you CaptPirateman, call me CaptPirateman, just call you by your username, and just welcome you even though they never met you before. Even on the first day, people were doing that. So, yeah, I definitely want to come next year. But, I've been CaptPirateman, and thank you for joining me on Festa Legends. See ya.